What's up, everyone? This is your host, Stefany Sweet.
And your co-host, Nia, Audri.
And you are now tuned into the GrownupIsh Podcast. Welcome, guys.
Hey.
What up, though? So, on this episode, guys, we are going to be talking about love, amor. Well, not just love. Love and stability, okay? So, we're jumping right into it, okay? We're going to just hop in there.
We've been rolling tonight.
We've been rolling. Okay. This is episode what?
3.
Okay.
Tonight.
We're just gonna come on with it. Normally we give you guys like the little how was your week and how was your week and what did you do and all of that. We're just gonna jump into it. Cut to it. Cut to the chase. Go. So yes, love and stability. I saw this conversation just to preface this episode though. I'm not gonna lie, I saw this conversation going online on IG, and I thought it was kind of interesting because I love like the back and forth that I saw. And the question was, if you had to pick one, which one would you choose? Love or stability? Amor or stability?
I was gonna say, I don't know how to say stability in another language.
Stabilidad.
Sure. Sounds like something.
Yeah.
Close.
So, yeah, Nia.
Well,
which one would you?
I always
want me to pick? I mean, you want me to start?
I can start. I'm gonna go with. Honestly, I've been sitting here thinking, and I am going to probably go with. I don't know. I thought I knew. I thought I knew. Okay. Part of me really is leaning towards stability. I'm leaning towards stability because I feel like if I'm in a relationship that is loving, but we are constantly like unsure about our next meal, or we are unsure if we have the finances to pay bills, or we just like things aren't stable. And let's just say, because stability is very broad, so that could even be like we're not stable in our relationship, so we don't even know if we're 1 foot in or 1 foot out half the time. We love each other, right, but the shit is just not stable. Like,
yeah,
I don't know
all these other things.
Yeah, so I don't know if it would push through and last. But I can also see the flip side. We're stable, everything's good, but it's lacking love. And let me, like, to get deeper with that, is also like, okay, it's how are we defining love and how are we defining stability?
That's where
because I'm like, for me, sometimes, being able to provide me a stable income, maybe he's not the most romantic and he's not the most sentimental, but he's making sure every day that I have everything I need, or like we have what we need, and he's providing in that area. So maybe I'm not getting or receiving love, or like we talk about love language. Maybe he doesn't exactly love me in my love language, but he is providing this stable household, and like that's his focus. Because sometimes people get that where they have a very stable household, but they don't have a very loving partner. And it's not due to lack of loving. It's just due to like, that's just his persona. Maybe he just didn't come from a super, hey, love you, right, gonna be here every day, affectionate family.
Yeah.
So looking at it that way, it's like, if I have to pick one, if I really had to pick, I don't know if I could survive in an unstable relationship. So I'm going to go with stability. I'm going to final answer. Gonna pick stability. What about you?
So when I was listening to the conversation surrounding this topic, I had to kind of take a step back and say, okay, for myself, like, first of all, defining for myself, what is love? What does love mean? And what does stability mean for me, right? And I think that's what everyone needs to do before they even answer that question, because it's going to be different for everyone, obviously, right? Mm-hmm. For obvious reasons. But then also, like, everyone has a different definition of stability. For you, it sounded like, more like you don't want chaos. You don't want disarray, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody might want might think that's more associated, like stability, associating it with financially, okay, with money. Like, I don't want to be struggling, worried about my next meal, or worry about whatever, like, because your spending habits are, you're very frivolous or something like that. Like, you know, or maybe it's the family unit. You need to know that there's love, and there is a bond, and, like, you know, everyone is dedicated to committing to, like, making sure that the family is good, you know, like that type of stability, like the love, from the love perspective. So it's kind of like, it just all depends on what your definition of stability is, and what your definition of, like, how you see for love, right? And when I think about it for myself, which I to me, I feel like they go hand in hand. Like, love is stability, stability breeds love, right?
Yeah.
So I say you can't have love without stability, though, right? You can have stability without love.
Yeah.
So I pick love because I don't feel like you can have love without stability. Like, if I love you the right way, right? The right way, you know, there will be stability in what I consider to be love for me, and, like, how I view love, right? Because even then, which I think that's what you were kind of maybe perhaps question, because even then, like, okay, people have different ways of viewing love, and what I mean by that is, like, or how they associate love. What I mean by that is, like, how I consider, like, love to be. Someone from a different religion or different background may not consider, like, the same things to be able to say, okay, I love this person because they are this. It's like, what are your values associated with love, right? I want commitment, I want trust, I want honesty, right? And I want someone that, like, is obviously appealing to me, like, you know, who's there for me, supports me, whatever. Someone else of a different religion might hold religion as number one. Like, somebody who is God-fearing, that's their number one. They'll look at their family unit. Like, those things are also, but, like, maybe I will hold one lower than the other or something according to their standards, right? So it varies.
I was just gonna say, I think, in my opinion, though, depending on how you describe stability, because you were saying, like, you think love breeds stability. So if you have love, then you likely have stability. Is that what you're saying? I just want to make sure I'm understanding.
Yeah, if most likely, if you're with somebody that you're in love with, and you guys have a good, loving relationship, a healthy relationship, most likely there is stability.
There is a most likely, because I was gonna say, because you definitely can have love without stability, because
especially if it's one-sided,
and not even that it's one-sided. I'll say this, because I look at it like, again, and in this case, we're gonna define stability as, like, that financial aspect of it, and, like, the being able to maintain from a day-to-day living. I just think, like, you can have love and not stability, because I think of, like, those couples who are in love and they love each other. Not even necessarily that they're toxic, but, like, you know, they just struggling. Like, shit is just not stable. Like, it's just, they're trying to get it right, but it's just not stable. And it could be, you know, maybe he can't keep a job, or maybe she got some other shit going on and she's just not in the right place, or she got bad spending habits, you know, like, every time he turned around, she done ran off with shit, and she want to live this extravagant life. I don't know. I'm just throwing out some crazy scenarios. But, like, they can love each other, but still not be stable. Like, it's just, the shit just not functioning the way it should. And in that case, I guess you could say it possibly is probably not healthy as well.
Or it goes back to, again, the person's definition of, like,
this is very subjective.
It's so subjective.
It's very subjective, because to to them in that moment, if you look at them and be like, do y'all think this is a stable situation? They might look at it like, yeah, we're fine. Like,
maybe not fine, but they're like, yeah, we love each other. We love each other.
That's all we need. We're fine. Like, okay, the lights almost got cut off, but they didn't.
Bobby and Whitney, I'm sure at one point they were
them
like,
motherfuckers was not stable. Clearly. I love you, Bobby! Rest in peace.
Oh, God.
Whitney. But y'all motherfuckers was not stable. Y'all wasn't. There was nothing stable about it. Yeah. There was love. There was lots of love.
Right. If you asked them, they probably thought, like, this is good. Like, we're good. We're good.
Y'all the problem. Not us.
Looking from the outside, looking in.
The drugs were the problem.
Everything was just not right. It was
so I feel like it's definitely subjective, but I'm still going to stick with stability because I feel like same way. I feel like you can have one and get to the other one
either way.
From each direction.
Because even when you were saying stability, like, okay, for example, I was having this conversation with a friend earlier. When you have somebody who is able to maybe provide or whatever, or like has those traits of causing stability within your relationship, whatever you define stability to be, right? Automatically you can lead to loving that person, right? Because they're providing or they're not causing turbulence of any type of sorts within your relationship anyway, right?
Yeah.
So you would think it's easier for you to fall in love with that person. Although, again, there's been many situations where the person does everything that they need to be doing. They are a provider. They take care of you. They're even loving, and you still can't even fall in love. Like there's no love there, because it's just there just isn't, right? So it's like going back in circles and circles. Like I like that. Each individual person can kind of define like what it is that is valuable to them, right?
Basically, because that's what it comes down to is like, what do you value?
Yeah.
If you had to pick one to start off with, why don't we say that? If you had to pick one to start off with, which one are you willing to have? And I would say, if we're looking at it from that angle, usually I probably start off with, well, low key is stability still, but
I think it should be.
It's definitely stability still. I was gonna say love, but honestly, stability still, because as a 30-year-old single woman, when dating,
you don't want chaos.
I don't want chaos.
At any age, you don't want.
No,
chaos.
you don't.
Ideally,
but right? Yeah, but now, especially being older, like I always talk about it. Eventually, I would like to have children.
Yeah.
Before I have children, I would like to have a husband. So when I'm dating or getting to know somebody, I need to see if they're stable. You good. You're not stressed about nothing too major. We all stress. We stress about shit. That's just life. If you ain't stressed, you probably dead. That's just how it goes.
You're not stressed, you're dead. Okay? That was a bar. That was a bar.
It's gonna be something. It might even be something small. Like, it's gonna be something that's stressed. Trust me, bro. It's always something.
It's always.
Listen, y'all can't see it, but it's like a pimple right in between my eyebrows, and I was just like,
I'm through.
I guess that's what the problem is now. So that's what we're gonna stress out about. But still, it's gonna be something.
That is the realest thing you've said all night.
Thank you. I'll be trying. So I feel like when I'm dating now, I first look at like, is this man stable? Like, is he stable? Because if he's stable, he has, his solid foundation. And that's how I'm looking at stable. Let's get to the root of the word stable. Stable meaning something is at a solid foundation. It is not rocky. It's set. It's stable.
It's
okay.
Solid.
It's solid. It's stable. You can stand on it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If he's stable, I can lean on him. He ain't gonna fall over.
Mm-hmm.
We can grow to love. I can grow to love. I can grow to fall in, love with you and be in love with you. Versus if I meet you and you like, yeah, I'm gonna take you out. Oh man, my car broke down. Oh man, this going on. Oh man, that going on.
Already.
Oh man, I gotta borrow some money from so and so, or I will take you, but my check this month is my check this week. Is looking. Boy, you ain't stable.
We ain't never gonna get to no love.
Now I'm trying.
That's okay. So
I'm trying.
I
I'll be trying.
But okay, so with love, right? As you're getting to know the person, and you find love, right?
Mm-hmm.
This person, you're in love with this person. That means you've gone through all of that already, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're seeing from the beginning, like, are they rocky? Are they not rocky? Are they meeting your standards? So you now got to love,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's why, like, if you reverse engineer it, really, if you pick love and you reverse engineer love, it could never come from a place of instability, right? Because then you would see that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I knew he was unstable when I went down that road. But now it's like, am I choosing
So
to work?
So then again, subjective, right? Because then it's like, what are you willing to put up with?
Yes.
May not be what I'm willing to put up with, vice versa.
Yes.
With the other person.
Because for you, love could be enough
a
in that
completely
case.
Different
yes,
look. It may look different. It may feel different.
Yeah.
Right? If you think about, like, these people or women and men that go into arranged marriages. So now it's not even them picking, it's their families picking, right? Most of the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
The families or the parents are the ones that are making these, like, arrangements, and contracts and whatever else, how is this going to happen and whatever, right? They don't know nothing about each other. They don't know nothing from Adam, right? Like, about these individuals, but they somehow grow to loving each other.
Yeah, you
not in all circumstances, but
most
like, it happens.
Ideally, that is the ideal situation that you will grow to love
your partner, right? And that's why these different cultures do it. Like, my culture, back in the day, like the older generations, like they did that. It was common to set up arranged marriages. Shoot, I have aunts and uncles that got married that way through arrangements, actually. And I have an aunt and uncle that are still together till this day. Do they go through stuff? Absolutely. But, like, what I mean? They've created a life for themselves, right? And it's like, that's where I say, like, different cultures and different religions, it just all depends, because it all depends on, like, how you grew up, because now your values are going to be different, and
Absolutely.
you may want to honor, your be it your parents, or be it your family, or whoever,
agree.
Right? To be able to just, like, just honor them. So you do this, and you find stability, and then that stability can grow to love from that perspective.
Yeah. I think that is not where my perspective comes from, but I think that basically aligns with my thoughts on it. Like, that's why I'm going to stand firm with stability.
Yeah.
Because I know that you can grow to love somebody, or you can grow to fall in love with somebody, or same difference, I guess, but you can grow into loving somebody. Like, you literally can fall in love. Like, that's what I think they mean when they say, like, oh, we fell in love. It's like, it happens over time. You fall into it. So I think that, for
it's
me,
hard to pick. I don't think you can pick one. I honestly don't think that you can pick one, because, again, as I go back to my point earlier, where we reverse engineer, if we're going to reverse engineer this, right? We're starting with stability, which will lead to love. And I was saying, well, you can't really, for the ones that do fall in love, like, you fell in love, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't have, for the most part, love without stability in a healthy and true.
I think you can, bro. In a
healthy
relationship. But I ain't talking about healthy. I'm talking about
but
day to day.
That's generalizing it, right?
With
so
people,
if we generalize it, we can also generalize that not everyone falls in love.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that not everybody falls in love from being in a stable situation. Like, that's definitely true too. Like, there are definitely cases.
The question.
What's the new question? Because I'm like, I agree. I absolutely agree.
Right.
I was about to say, like, there's definitely times where people might try to find something, like you said, that they love about this person and are trying to fall in love. And it's just like, yeah, I don't love this man.
Right.
Or I just
so would
don't
you live
love
with
this woman.
one over the other?
Would I live with one over the other?
Because that's really what choosing is. Either
so if I had to have,
we're trying to connect the two.
Yes, we're trying to
make
connect
it seem like,
the two.
okay, we want, because we want both.
So if I had to have either or, point blank period, I'm either stable and there is no love, like we just don't love each other. We just in this damn house together and that's just it. Like it ain't no love. Or I'm in a loving relationship and there's just no stability at all.
Correct.
Like every day you like, what the fuck's gonna happen today?
Every day it's a new shit show.
Oh,
it's
shit.
muckery. It's a hot mess
going
express.
to seem like such a cold person.
Why?
Because I am still rocking with stability.
I think if I had to pick one, I would pick.
You're gonna say, I'm gonna be loved.
No, if I had to pick one, the realistic Tauruo in me, like the Taurus in me, would pick stability.
Yeah,
because I'm not
this
with
is
the
and
shits.
this is the thing, and this is listen, and that's
I'm
the thing.
With the
coming from my own personal background and just like not to discredit the Black culture, but our history of being torn apart and families being torn apart and us not having stability and us just lacking that. Like, unfortunately, a lot of our, African Americans specifically, my ancestors, they had to survive on love because stability was constantly being snatched away from them, whether they had it or not. But that caused a lot of turmoil too in our households. Right. So it's fucked up, but it's like, if I have to pick, I'm gonna have to pick stability. Like, I not to say that I would step out on my partner or anything like that, but to know like I have that peace of mind when I go to sleep. Like, no, it might not be ideal. And yes, we all desire love and we all desire to be in a happy, loving relationship. But if I really had to pick, I need to know like I'm okay. I'm good. Like I'm taken care of. I'm not constantly I was just talking to my mom about this. I'm not living to survive.
Right.
Because I know people, like I have like family members that literally every day is just living to survive. You can't even enjoy anything when you're constantly just trying to make your ends meet. And that also I think comes from, like I said, just my, not just culture, but even background. Like I know looking at, my biological mom and some of the stuff that I know happened, and then also stuff where she tells me like she was just trying to make it.
Right.
She was just trying to make it, just doing whatever she needed to do to take care of the kids that she had because there was no stability. Right. So for me personally, I don't want that. I don't want that at all. If that means, I marry this man knowing that there's no real connection there, I think I would probably be able to handle that personally. And that takes a lot of like,
it does,
self-love as well, and like being well aware of your situation, and it will be fucked. Like I would not be walking around like life is great, guys. It'd be like, yep, that's my husband right there, y'all. Yeah, that's just my husband. That's what it is. That's who I chose to be with. I knew what I got into when I got into it, and we gonna make it work. Would it be ideal? Would it be perfect? Absolutely fucking not. Is that what I want? No, I want stability and love. Yeah. But in this scenario, if I had to be completely real with myself, I don't want to live a life of struggle. Yeah. I don't want to live a life where I'm now bringing kids into this world and they have to know that, mommy and daddy can't provide for us. Right. They love us, but they can't give for us. And even then, like, if we're talking love between me and my partner, it may not be there, but as long as I'm not being abused, right. I'm not being hurt, I'm not being mentally, emotionally, physically beat down and tore up. As long as that's not happening, it's just like a lack of like affection and like real, like that type of love. Let me be clear on that too. Like if we're just lacking affection and like those loving text messages and those little things, because like I said, quality time is my thing. So as long as it's just one of those situations where, I'm not being hurt, I'm not being harmed, but he's not as affectionate as I would like him to be, and he doesn't express himself the way I would want him to. I would have to accept it.
This is hard for
it
me.
It is, girl. That got deeper than I thought it would get, but
yeah, because now it's taking me back to like I'm going through like old emotions, because in my previous relationship, I feel like there was that, like there was stability. Like I didn't need for anything. Everything was taken care of. Like we were great, and there wasn't that depth of affection that I wanted, right? And so that's one of the reasons that, like, and the individual cared for me, I know that, and I cared for the individual, but it was just personalities. It's just different, right?
Yeah.
It's just different. And you think about that, like this one thing, if we could change this thing, you know what I mean? And everything would just fall into place. But you can't force love on somebody. And somebody who doesn't know how to be loved, or somebody who doesn't know how to love, you can't, they just got to find their way through the woods, through the forest. You can try to help them, but like, you can shine the light, like I'm right here, shine the light, but if they are not willing to come to you, they're not going to come to you. So I feel like I've been kind of in a situation where yes, there was stability, but there wasn't enough love. Like there wasn't that love, like that
you required.
That would stand the test of time, or that I required. And I did not like how that felt.
Yeah.
I really did not like how that felt, when you just like, you're pouring into somebody, but no one is pouring back into you. That feels so shitty, So when I think about it in that way, but I also agree with you that I don't want to struggle, and I don't want to live like, you know what I mean, like chaotic
survival mode all the time.
All the time. Like that's not it. That's not the jam. We're not here for that. I'm getting off that bus, right? So I'd have to come into a situation where there was stability but no love, knowing that that's my, like, if I'm going into it, that's what it is, and I know, not expecting, I'm hoping that there will be love. No, I need to know that that's what it is. Now, if I know that that's what it is, I'm willing to perhaps sacrifice, be it for my kids, be it for myself, whatever, because I'm loving the lifestyle, or I'm gaining something that I feel like is more for me than what love would bring. But I think, if I'm being truthful and honest with y'all, I would find love in other ways.
And that's what I was about to get to. Like,
I would eventually, if I'm being real, like if there's no love, like I would find love in other ways. Like they would have to be. I would find happiness, or find a way to make myself content and make myself happy in other ways. And that would just be the reality of my situation, point blank, period. You know, I'm being real with y'all.
And that's what I was about to say. The fact, like we both said, knowing in advance what you're getting yourself into is key. Yeah. And then I was going to say, and that's when it would get into me, like, if I have kids, ideally, I wouldn't, at the end of the day, I'm not going to marry somebody if I know I want kids and he doesn't want kids. We're not going to be loveless, and I'm not getting, like, what I want.
Right.
That's just not going to happen.
That's
so then it's like, then I'm pouring into my kids. I'm pouring that love into my kids. Maybe I'm going to go find other things to keep me busy. I will probably be busy as hell. I ain't even gonna lie to you, because at this point it's like
the distraction.
We're just partners. Like that's just it. That's just my barely. I would
as humans though, but that's I struggle with this, because then as humans we need love, and yes, you can get love from your kids. Yes, you can get love from contentment from your other career or whatever. But we need love and affection. We need love. Like I need adult love, and I'm not just saying just sexually.
Affection.
No, affection. Like I need to know that
cuddles.
Yeah, like
girl, I love me some cuddling.
That's something I need for myself. So
you don't cuddle with me at that point, I feel like you don't even love me. So you don't care about me.
In this scenario, I happen to find myself in this is for the purpose of stability, and I go into it knowing. Then my next question is like, are we both aware? Because I like to be truthful, like I be trying to keep it a buck with everybody, but like, is this now like we talking arranged now? Like, what is this? Because at this point, like, why are we even doing it? If we're
I was
not
gonna say it
fall
got to
in
be
love?
arranged because that's the only explanation for this.
So it sounds like I'm
being in
going
this
back
situation.
to love.
She said, "I'm going back to love. Take me with you, love. Come back. I want to go. I want to go."
Yeah, no, seriously. Like, it was an emotional turmoil for me. Like the time that I felt like I was not being loved.
And that's
And
the thing.
maybe it was amplified because I was pouring into it, and I expected that to be poured back into me, and
that
it wasn't.
sucks.
So it wasn't reciprocated.
I can kind of relate because I feel like towards the end of my relationship, there was definitely we were just in a very odd ass place, and relationships have their ups and downs. They all do. But we were definitely in a weird ass place where it was like I could tell he was falling back.
Yeah.
And like in that sense, I think I can relate to you where I can feel the love being pulled away. Like you can feel like, all right, like I said, I'm a cuddler. Me and him used to, it could be hot as hell and we're gonna be laid up on each other like spooning, cuddling, I move, he move. We're just together, okay?
Run.
So when it's like my back to his back and we are not on each other, like that's eventually how we started sleeping. It was just not the same no more. And like, yeah, and like after we talked, I'm like, oh, I was like, I could feel you pulling away. He's like, yeah, I was pulling out. Yeah, I know, I could feel it when we go
body
from
language changes,
body language, we hold hands when driving, just everything. So like, I can feel you in that sense of like, yeah, like I said, ideally, if I had to pick, not ideally, if I had to pick, it would be stability, but ideally, I would not want to be in a non-loving relationship, period. Like, at this point, definitely my next relationship, I don't give a damn how mad you get. I don't give a damn what we going through. When we get in this bed, you better have your ass ready. Big spoon in me, goddammit. You flip over. Come on, let's go. Like, we gonna cuddle. We gonna push through it because that, like, to just have that pulled away, that can be very hurtful.
It is. And now,
especially when you still trying, like, it's different if I'm pulling away too and I'm just like, fuck it, we over it. But like, when you're still wanting to have that love there and that person's just not reciprocating love at all, that shit sucks.
If like, so one thing that my mom always says is like, you need to find somebody that loves you more than you love them. I think it's so that, I don't know if have you heard that? It's better to find somebody who loves you more than they love them. Then they love you. They gotta love you more than you love them.
Yeah, I always hear it's better for the man to love the woman more.
Yeah. So when I hear that, I'm just like, but you can't like make that happen, right?
I don't think you can.
Yeah, like you can't make that happen. But in any case, like if I'm thinking about like somebody that I would even endeavor to, pursue more than like, obviously, like my husband, one of the things that I really, really loved about him is that he cared about me. He cared, he put me first, right? He put me first, and that got my attention.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a grinder. Like he makes things happen. Like he's a provider. He takes care of me. Like I don't need to stress and worry about that. So like he showed those traits of stability, like from jump.
Yes.
Right. But then the fact that he cared about me and he put me first and he like wanted to consider my feelings. Like he wanted to know, like, are you good? Steph, are you good? Okay, great. Okay, now we can move on with whatever regularly scheduled program. But like first is Steph, are you good? So I didn't have that. And so when I again compare the two, or because I'm gonna obviously that's my experience, and I'll compare the two, I'll take this hands down, even if like we may not always be stable because there are life things that happen and stuff just goes maybe slightly left. I know the type of character that he is, and I know that he has my back. Yeah. So even that, like, that's the stability that I'm kind of like leaning on, and I know that that's the person that's gonna rock with me.
Yes.
And even if it gets turbulent outside of us, like our union, you know what I mean? Like
it's stable.
It's stable.
Yes.
So
and then that part is different because that's what I was going to say. So then in that case, yeah, that in those situations where we're saying like at the end of the day, I know that our foundation is
I want
stable.
love. Give me love.
We're not going to figure this shit out. I can tell you that right now. We're not going to
Give
come
me
to
love.
a
Because
concise answer.
I don't know that I would survive another situation. Like, I'm traumatized.
As
Can
you
you
should
tell?
be.
Can you tell?
Listen, as you should be.
As soon as something be going...
As you should be. So, but do you think then, because going back to that whole statement, do you think that men have to love the women more? A man has to love the woman more in order for it to really work?
I do. And let me tell you why. Now that I'm married, I do. Ooh. Because before that, I was just like, that's very like selfish.
Right.
That's very selfish. That doesn't make any sense. Why should the men love the woman? But there's science to this.
There is a science to it.
Break it down. Let me break it down for y'all.
Break it down.
Okay.
Break it down.
We are, if you want to get all religious, like the helpmate, right?
Right.
But we women in general, who run the world? Girls. Okay. We do. Like, we legit do. And we make things happen all the time. We are taking care of the household. We are taking care of the kids. We are supporting our husbands and encouraging them so they can take care of whatever business they're taking care of out there. Like, it all starts with the woman. Okay. And we're constantly like, we are like just love, just pouring out.
Constantly. They say a woman is like a plant. You just pour into her and she just blossoms. She's going to give you fruit to feed you, vegetables, what you need.
And we keep reproducing. Right. We reproduce, we amplify. Okay. Yeah, we just provide. So that's in our nature. It's within us to give. It's within us to pour in. It's for in us to like help and grow and build. And you know what I'm saying? You just got to love us. And we'll like automatically we pour out
whatever
love.
You give a woman, she gonna multiply to make it better.
Like, exactly. So
I saw that somewhere. It's a meme, I think. No.
And it's real.
But it's true. Whatever you give a woman, we are going to make better.
It's so
like,
real.
It was like you give her a seed, she give you a child. Like, come on now. You give her a house, she make it a home.
Hello.
Okay?
Hello.
Okay?
Okay. So I feel that because we are already are designed naturally inclined to pour out and give and provide and build and support and just amplify everything that is around us, right? The men need to love us more.
Yeah. Because
it's just him pouring into me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I'm doing this, right? And I'm doing this to everywhere I go, for everyone, for everything. Like, I think about it now, like, I've never been this busy ever in my life, right? And I'm doing so many different things. And I find myself constantly like giving myself to all these different parts of my life and areas of my life. And you have to split yourself. And it takes so much, right? And I don't feel that men are built the same way that, obviously. They're not built to do it like we do.
Ooh, I have a funny story.
Go for it.
Were you done with that? I agree. I agree absolutely that men have to love you more.
Yeah. So I agree with that statement.
They
like
do.
100%.
They have to love you more. And it's funny because at first in my last relationship, I thought I loved him more. I really felt like he loved me more. But now that I like reflected more on it, he definitely loved me like a lot. And he definitely,
now you're able to see it.
I'm able to see it now, and
that's another thing. Sometimes you
don't see it when you're in it right away. You have to really step back and reflect. If you're in a relationship, step back and reflect now, before it ends. But no, he's like definitely super loving, and that's why I'm still hella appreciative for him, because like he's like, I have to give him his roses now, even though we're not together. I still try to let him know, like, yo, you the shit. I ain't gonna lie, you the shit. You was the shit. I just didn't see it, and that's on me. But so funny story. I know, right? I'll be growing up. I know. Who am I? I'm really getting my shit together. Like, I'm gonna be really ready one day. But for right now,
I see it.
It's a no for me.
So
funny story.
Okay, story time.
So women are definitely built a little tougher than men.
Hell yeah.
Let me tell y'all why. And it's not. We already know, like, childbirth, we killing that shit.
Right.
Y'all can't. You could never
even be able to put up with the cramps.
Could never.
Never.
bleed for one. Let's just get that out the way. Then carry a child for 9 whole months, sometimes longer.
And have the vagina ripped open.
Have your vagina ripped open. Okay, a man can never. But let's just even get to the most simplest, basic, hilarious thing ever to me.
What?
So you always see the memes about how women, like, they shower hot as hell, right?
Yes.
And then there's like a guy like, ah!
Scales.
Girl, that is true. Scales. That is so true. I really thought that was just like a joke, right? And then like I found out like these motherfuckers be taking cold showers. This is I like a pinch. I like a pinch of hot water. What the fuck is this? This is cold.
What is a pinch?
This is cold.
Yo, he be coming into the bathroom like, why is it so steamy? Why you got? It's so hot. Like, you don't even come in there no more. It's right. I'm like, this is just right. This feels amazing.
First off, okay. I have my own sauna now. And you letting in cold air. So shut the goddamn door.
Shut the door. Thank you.
Like,
shut the door.
So I didn't realize like that was legit true. And then I found out it was. And
bunch of sissies.
That shit is hilarious.
A bunch.
I never realized that. So me and my ex would take showers. Usually though, he would be in the shower first, or like he would get cleaned up, and then I would come in
cold water,
and then I be hot as hell. And I never paid attention to the water though. I would start off. He would shower real quick, and then I would always be in the front of the water. Girl, he was like, "You never noticed that, like, because you was fucking burning me. You were burning. Ow. Why don't you like me?" I was dying. I said, "Y'all are weak. Y'all are so weak. Like,
rude.
It's just water.
No, it's just water.
It's okay." Ow. Okay, no more. Turn it off. Cold ass showers. So yeah, that's when I knew. That's when I knew. Like, yeah, we
biggest baby.
Y'all might have the muscle, the bronze. I'm gonna give y'all that. But when it comes to other like shit, y'all not built for it, and it's okay. That's okay. Yeah. So I thought that was hilarious though, because this whole time I was just like, I never really asked the guy. Yeah, I never asked the guy like, "Oh, do y'all really not take like hot showers?" And then to them, they probably be like, "No, I take hot showers. I have hot water on."
But it's just not as hot as
not hot.
They take hot, but it's not their hot. Their level of hot and I know for a fact my level of hot.
Turn that thing all the way over to it. Don't move no more.
Compared to my husband,
it don't matter what house I'm at. It don't matter what house I'm at. It don't matter what hotel I'm at. Don't Airbnb. I'm turning it all the way to the hot. Then we'll decide like if we need to move up a little bit. But you gotta go all the way hot.
I gotta get to the right spot.
Yeah, but you gotta go all the way over first.
Hotter than what they use.
Yeah. Okay. I thought that was funny, y'all. So there's y'all little story time. I finally found out like, oh, that's not a joke. Y'all really think we be in just chilling in flames.
For sure. But go ahead, guys. Like, let us know what y'all think about this. Like, we definitely went back and forth. I don't even know what we landed on. I think I landed on love. Because I've been traumatized. I'm going to just stick to my love. I love getting my love right now. My husband be annoying me sometimes, but I love him.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep him. Because that other shit, them other games, is for the birds. I ain't with it. I'm going to take love. I mean, I say that now because I found stability in my love. Like, if there was no stability, I feel like I don't like those type of games either.
See?
Bye-bye.
As of right now, I look at stability first. And then, hopes for love to come with that stability. Yes, I will say that.
You value stability, and then
I do.
And it's not to say,
ideally, I hope I meet this guy.
We want both.
Yeah, I want both.
But if we were to pick one, you pick stability, and I think I picked love. And then
there we have it.
That's that. Let's stick with
it. I'm sticking with it before we could change our minds.
We gonna change. I'm gonna keep changing, but
then this could happen. And then what if?
What if this? Okay, and if this happened? Scenarios. Y'all let us know which one you pick in, love or stability, and you can't pick both. Okay, we know you would love to have. Ideally, everybody would love to have both. Clearly, okay, we went back and forth for about an hour, close to an hour. But like, if you had to pick one, which one would you pick, and why? That is the question. Hit us up. Let us know, okay? You know where to find us. The GrownupIsh Podcast on IG, The GrownupIsh on Twitter. The GrownupIsh Pod is the website. Like, subscribe, share. write us. I like the engagement we've been getting. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Back
Keep
and
it up.
forth.
Keep it up.
Keep it up, guys. We love that. We want to hear from y'all. So you know where to find us, y'all.
Bye.
It's been real. Bye.